On last week's episode, we head over to the West Coast, spear a ton of snapper. My buddy Cole spears his biggest fish ever. We have an amazing cook-up on the boat, and now it's time for next month's trip over to the West Coast. We were running to the spot. We saw some bait on the surface, and then we ran right over it and marked something huge, and it just doesn't stop. DJ, what's your analysis on this?
I think there might be something down there. I think something's about to go down. We got two badasses entering the ocean here, and I think it's going to go down.
Mystery number coming up. We'll see you guys down below. All right, you guys, welcome underwater and welcome to the voiceovers. Go ahead and hold your breath with me on this dive while I do a little bit of voiceovers and talk about it. So this is my first drop on the structure. Couldn't see anything from the surface, so I was making a drop to see what it was showing up on the sonar. And that's a really good thing to do, especially on this Gulf side, is taking it, like keeping a look at your radar on your Garmin and checking out bottom as you're cruising around from spot to spot, because it's basically a desert over here in the Gulf, and if there's a structure or anything, it's like a hidden oasis in the middle of a desert, and life usually is just teeming around it. So we went down, first drop, saw a ton of bait, but no solid structure yet. A lot of hard bottom, but don't like structure. On this video, you'll see why a nice Spearo mackerel comes cruising in, and Cole already makes a dive, and this is going to be the first fish in the boat. Now I'm there just kind of watching his back, keeping an eye on him, and one of the most important things with this fish is to brain, bleed, and gut, because this is an excellent fish eaten raw. So this is a good first fish in the boat. Just to start the day, I decided to follow Cole around, and this is later in the season and Gag Grouper has actually opened. We were roughly in the same area where we saw the structure. We wanted to hit up a couple of pillars that are nearby, and these pillars in the middle of the sand hold some serious fish, and this was the biggest Gag Grouper we saw on this little cinder block. Cole wanted to just secure dinner, so this was another fish for the box. And again, we have some pelagic fish that we can eat raw as an appetizer, and then we have the main course Gag Grouper, but we get into a lot more later in the video, so don't go anywhere. You guys, really quick, this video is brought to you by you. So I'm really in a jam, and my family boat has a ton of problems. A way I really want to stay out on the water is I want to get that boat fixed as soon as possible. I really don't have the funds being a teacher and all, so I really wanted to put together a crowdfunding source and for you guys to help keep me on the water, keeping you guys entertained and bringing you content. I'm going to start a GoFundMe for the boat to try to pay for all the repairs. For everybody that donates, I'm going to enter you into a raffle, and winner of that raffle is going to get a free, all expenses paid trip with me locally on my boat once I get it back, and you get a chance to dive with me and my buddies. So I'm stoked for that. Something to make it even more enticing, the top 10 donators are going to get put into an individual raffle, and that will get raffled off for a free, all expenses paid Bahamas trip with me. You'd be doing me a solid if you enjoy the videos, and again, anything helps out. And if you could share this video, I'm going to post on YouTube of the link of the GoFundMe. And you guys, I appreciate everything from the bottom of my heart. And now back to the video. We decided to run extremely far to try to get on a big wreck, and this was nothing what I expected. I was expecting to, see a boat wreck, which we do see later in the video, but this is just a bunch of rubble and debris and just random things all spread around the ocean floor. You can't make out the bottom, but whenever you see all the bait in the mid-water column, that's a good opportunity to dive. And that's what you see right here, me punching through the bait. And usually when you go through the bait, you see grouper come up, but we already got our limit on grouper. We only allowed 2, and Trey shot 1, and then Cole shot the other one, so we are limited out. So I'm just going on a Recon dive, and like all my videos, I really like showing you my successes along with my fails, and we're going to start off with one of the fails. I see a ton of mangrove snapper cruising around. I kind of want to get, just something in the boat to start the day off right. I'm really hoping for a cobia, but these snapper are really good size, so I kind of cruise up to them. They're really darty, and I'm trying to take my time, be really patient. I'm kind of nearing the end of my dive, and I just decide to give it a rip. Now I was trying to lead that fish, but you can see once I pulled the trigger, he darted the opposite direction. And that sometimes happens with these snapper. They're really darty, very fast. Some of them can even sense you pulling the trigger, the muscles of you pulling the trigger, which is wild to me. But unfortunately, didn't get a mangrove, but stay tuned. You're gonna see me whacking some fish later on. Fucking darty fuckers. This method of diving is absolutely amazing, but the conditions are everything. There's very little current, the waves are not bad at all. So we have the boat anchored, and then we have a long float line stretched out, and then we also have a marker buoy on the structure, so you can kind of get pinpoint where you are. And as I make a drop, I see that cobia swimming from the sand towards the structure, but he was okay size, but he was just swimming off in the distance. I kind of follow him, but he is on a mission. I don't know if he's just patrolling around. I'm really hoping that he is just making rounds and somebody will get an opportunity on him. And I think the main thing is just not to charge the fish and make him feel scared to where he doesn't come back. So I go ahead and cut my losses. He was on a mission. Maybe he'll circle back around. But while I'm down there, I'm going to try to get after some mangrove snapper because I know they're around. But look at the amount of bait on this thing. Everywhere you're looking, you're seeing little bait. I see a big Goliath off in the distance. And again, just the mangrove snapper are hanging all around the wreck. There's a nice gag grouper right in the view right there. But like I said, we're done popping gags. I'm ready for some snapper. So once finally coming in, giving it a look, getting a little comfortable, land a safe shot. I aimed kind of for the gills and I shot a little bit far back because again, these things are on the move. But I'm really excited. I got fish in the box and we're not going home empty-handed. And this is just the start of a good trip. So nice cobia. Here's one. There's a cobia, but he was kind of on the outs, but he's like cruising around. I don't always show this in the videos, but I highly suggest always braining, bleeding, and gutting your fish. It saves on ice, it makes the meat a lot more tasty, and also whenever you're cleaning the fish at the end of the trip, it makes it less messy because there's no guts and bile getting all over the meat. So highly suggest doing it, especially if you're in the water. If you're fishing, it's a little more difficult, but I always try to do it while I'm diving. So I'm making another drop, again, hoping for that cobia to come by, just doing his rounds, patrolling, or maybe even a bigger cobia, but I'm not really seeing him. Nobody's really seen a cobia since that one dive I made, and we made a couple of drops since then. But I see this giant boiler, and it's moving, which is crazy because there's like a little bit of surge in the water, and it's just kind of shifting back and forth, and it kind of wallowed out some caves underneath it. But whenever I looked through that little door, I saw some really big mangroves. So I go all the way to the bottom. I'm kind of assuming they're going to be like dog snapper, popping in and out, and one is just sitting there. I take my time, line up a really good shot, and I don't know how, but I think I just hit him right off the face. He must have done that little ninja dodge like before, but I spot him later. It was either on this dive or another one that he had like a little scratch on his face. So this is like the fish. I marked him, so now I'm gonna try to go after him. But we have Cole here, lining up on a mangrove. Took a nice shot and added another mang to the box. But I am determined to get this other snapper. So I get up, reload, regain my thoughts, and now I know exactly where to dive. There was a slob of a mangrove. I don't know how I missed him. He was like sitting there. Huge. It was so big. Yeah.
I saw that.
Now, the only way I'm able to know where to dive is because of that marker buoy we have. And thankfully, we're only diving less than 50 feet, so it's not like a ton of line is out. It's really easy to gauge. But if I'm diving like 80, 90 feet with current, a marker buoy is almost pointless. So, and mainly because it probably won't hold the bottom because there's so much scope out and it's just not ideal. With that being said, now I know exactly where that big structure is. And I know that structure holds that huge mangrove snapper, so I'm making a drop. You see I saw the marker buoy right there, and I know just a certain distance from that is the big boiler, and I can even see it right there. So I'm kind of going down to the sand, cruising along. I know exactly where I shot this fish. I'm really hoping he's just kind of in that cave, hoping he pops out, pops his head out. And I just sit there. You see this thing rolling, and I think that's kind of like pushing fish around. It's making them go in and out of the cave. And I'm just sitting there waiting for my opportunity, hoping a fish gets close enough. And I'm just waiting for him to pop out of that hole. Now, I'm really relaxed on this dive, and sometimes people try to do too much whenever they're making drops. And I didn't see the one I was after. Another nice mangrove came in. Again, I was trying to lead him, and I led just basically shot right for the nose, and they flipped around, turned the opposite direction, and I missed again. Again, like I enjoy showing you guys the fails so you learn from them. Nice zero mackerel there on my way up. Can't shoot it because I'm unloaded. But again, I'm very determined, and this whole thing pays off, and you'll see why here in just a minute. Also, really quick, I just wanted to let you know the gun I'm using. It's a Rob Allen 120 Timberline roller. Highly recommend this gun. I could shoot fish on the reef, go shoot tuna with it. Very versatile gun. This kind of diving overall I love because it's not stressful. You're not trying to hit a mark exactly. The current's not moving, and you're hidden from the fish from the surface because of that murk layer. So they're not really seeing you come in. If it was crystal clear, fish would see you, they could scatter. But this way you can kind of go down silently, hidden, get to the bottom, and then fish kind of come in. So I'm making a drop on that big boiler, really hoping that mangrove pops its head out. I saw it maybe on the dive before, and it was just a quick glimpse in the distance, but I know he's hanging around, and I'm trying to get on this fish. Nice big Goliath right there. And the good thing is the Goliath over here, they're not prone to seeing a ton of fishermen and spear fishermen, so they're not out for the easy meal like they are on the East Coast. So I just keep deciding to take different vantage points on this little crack in this cave, just hoping that, you know, last time I saw the fish it was this same exact angle, and I just sit and wait for a little bit. The fish, I think that last shot I took kind of maybe scared the fish away a little bit, so I decided to move in a little bit closer, kind of peeking through, looking around, hoping something pops his head out, but nothing so far. Okay, you just see the life on this thing. It's so beautiful. All the barracuda everywhere. And that was a mangrove. It wasn't the one I was after. Actually, I think that one that I just saw went in there was the one I was after. But I decided to go after that bigger one. Turn the corner, and you'll see something that pops up that I didn't even see. It was camouflage. Freaking cobia. Surprise cobia was just lurking. And now I landed a really good shot right through mid like gill plate area, and I'm trying to keep it out of the marker buoy. Now I really do my best, but it's kind of inevitable, especially with the fight that these fish have. But I'm absolutely stoked that we have a variety in the box, and this could have been the one cobia that I saw initially, but you can see how crazy these things go when they get to the surface.
Yeah, I think I got it. No, I think I'm good.
When I have the fish like this, I don't want to just rely on the barb, so I really want to stick the spear through the fish, especially because I know how crazy they can get, and I want to get my hands on both sides of the spear. And you'll see me do that. I'm trying to just get it to where I can get him above the water and shove the spear completely through and get the other side of it. And once I do that, I know the fish is not going to tear off. It does give me a little beat down, and it's a smaller cobia to where I'm able to manhandle it and get him to the boat safely and securely.
No, shit. What the fuck, man? It was a long ass dive. I was down there for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And I was chasing after a big mangrove. The one I shot him grazed off of his head, and I marked him. So he like marked on his head. And then I turned the corner, I saw this guy.
I go ahead and get that fish to the boat, and I'm so excited that we have a huge variety in the box. We have enough for dinner, we have enough for our family and friends, and also to have throughout the week. And like I said, it's just an amazing variety of fish in the box so far. But I wanted to make one last dive on this spot because I really hate leaving that one mangrove there that I wounded. But I mean, he'll be fine, just mainly due to the fact that I haven't found him yet. He's not, and I saw him on the last dive when I was after that cobia. So I know he's around. I didn't want to leave him, every rock unturned. So I make the same drop, that same vantage point, and I try to peek over into that cave. I'm really hoping, because the dive before, the thing kind of came around and went to the middle of it. So I was hoping it was just going to do the same thing. But honestly, that fish was so weary and so skittish at this point, it was almost futile trying to get a shot at him. But it doesn't hurt to try. We do have one more spot we want to hit after this, so I don't want to take too long. Just sitting there hoping that opportunity prevails where it pops out. And I'm trying. What I do there is I poke the structure, hoping to kind of move fish around that are hanging out underneath it. But nothing really works. Cruising around the edge, hoping that the fish is on the other side. But after this drop, all I see are kudas. No more snapper around. And at this point, I just think it's futile. He's not gonna show up. So head on up to the surface, give this place one last look. And now it's time to head to an absolute honey hole. So stay tuned for this next drop. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Got that nice cobia, grazed the head of a really big mangrove, and unfortunately he got away. But I saw him again, and then I kept trying to play peekaboo with him. And I went to look for him. He turned the corner, and then I looked to my left, and there was a cobia there. And this is a good one. Nice one. They gotta be 36 to the fork. That guy's well over. I didn't even have to question it. But we also got a couple of mangroves. Cole shot a nice hogfish, and now we have all these storms around us that have been brewing since this morning. But we're gonna make our way into a shallower wreck. Fingers crossed we get pluck off a couple of more fish before we head in, and I'm taking you guys with me, so let's go. Now, weather is deteriorating really quick, so this is a small area. I'm gonna try to make a drop, see the biggest and best fish I can see on it. I'm really hoping it holds a nice cobia or a nice school of them. On first drop, go down, big Goliath, some mangrove snapper. There's a lot of gags in the front of it and a ton of bait. So I'm really hoping that a cobia will kind of cruise out of this wreckage. But I don't see anything right off the bat, just that giant Goliath. And usually cobia like to hang out in the front, but as I headed to the surface, I turn around and a stud is cruising around, and he's very chill. So I get to the surface and I tell Cole immediately.
It's a fucking huge cobia. I saw him on my way up. Just chill out on it.
I know that Cole has never shot a cobia this big, so I'm really excited that we know it's there. I'm ready to help him out, and if he starts extending and lining up on a fish, I can't really see a fish, but he literally does that. Starts lining up, extends, takes a rip, and before he even pulls the trigger, I already made a duck dive, and I'm ready to go down there, put a second shot, fight the fish, because I know his gun isn't as powerful, so I'm really worried about a tear out, so I put a spear in the fish immediately. You see how bad that thing just bent his shaft immediately after the shot. But with that second shot, put a really hurting on the fish, able to pull him away from the wreck so he doesn't get tangled, and we just ease him up to the surface. Absolutely stoked on this stud.
Woo! Nice, dude. That's a good one. He's coming up. Try to get my hand. Or is your hand in his gill? All right, hold on. Let me try to get my hand in. Woo. I know. I can't get my hand in his gill. Hold on. I got him. That's a big bitch.
Your other shaft is done.
Here, let's try to brain him. All right, you wanna hop on the boat? Here, hold him. Let me get a video of you. Just bring it in, Now pull all this in. Whoa, that's a big one.
Be careful when you get in because there's a shaft right underneath.
Yeah, I see it. Dude, Cole. Dude, yes, that was awesome.
That is a big one there, dude.
That's a proper one.
All right, let's putt over and get our thing.
Woo, that was awesome. Yeah. Oh, dude, that was sick. Woo, we did it. Cole did it. That is a proper one.
That's a stud.
Dude, that is sick. He freaking laced that guy.
He's struggling on that. How much do you think that weighs?
Probably 40. Yeah, he's probably 40. Dude, what a way to end. And we're surrounded by these storms. These storms are coming in, hitting us. So we were like, let's just go in, check this spot real quick. Sure enough, made a drop.
saw this cobia on my way up and freaking turned around and it was like, Cole, there's a big cobia here. And he literally immediately dove and like 25 feet down, saw him, reached out, I knew he was there, and then I hit my GoPro on, and then he let the shaft fly, and I just started chasing down his line, and that thing was trying to dig into the wreck, but luckily I was able to grab the line, pull him out, and then reach out and put another shaft in him just to make sure we secured the fish. But yeah, woo! Cole, what do you think? Biggest?
I think that's my biggest.
Yeah, that's what you think? That's so sick. Same wreckers out here. Woo! That's freaking awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That is epic. I'm gonna do something special with this, so don't you guys go anywhere. Welcome back to the cabin. We are gonna cook up that cobia. So now after filleting everything, I got the cobia into these little chunks. And then the only ingredients we're gonna use for this is a seasoning of your choice. We have some Everglades and some Lowry's seasoned salt. A little bit of Lowry's. We're gonna use more Everglades. We got some mango, freshly cut mangoes, and check these out. Look at all these. We got a bunch of different varieties. You got some Glens, Pickering, Filipinos, Page. I don't know what that is. That's Sister Pages. And then a bunch of Glens. And look at these. They look so good. But we're actually going to, oh, they smell good too. That's actually a Glen. And so we have the fish, seasoned them, mango, jalapenos. This is pickled, just standard pickled jalapeno. And then we got bacon. I have the bacon strips, so I mean you could keep them extra long and wrap them, but I like this because it only makes one layer of bacon. After that, we layer them up and then we skewer them. And this looks like the end product. This is it. It's not too long, but fit about 4 per thing. You can see jalapeno, bacon, and cobia. I'm gonna repeat this process, just keep on doing as much as I possibly can. Anything left over, I might just throw in foil and throw it on the grill. I will finish all this up, and then I'm gonna pack it down and see you guys over at the hunting camp. All right, we made it out to the hunting camp. This is it, nice little property. We have the little kitchenette here, bathroom, all that stuff. Got the little kitchenette here. Where we'll be eating. And then this is what we got going on. I'm gonna scrape this real quick. I'm gonna throw all this stuff on. I kept the leftovers, like there was like an odd number amount of, I forgot what it was, I think bacon. So I chopped up like a last 2 pieces of bacon, threw the rest of the cobia, some jalapenos, and the rest of the mango inside of the foil. So that'll sit, but we also have you gotta have the charcoal flavor get into the meat. So that's what we got, and that's what we're gonna eat. Let's go master time. I'm just gonna throw this on there. That you can kinda sit in and forget it. Not essential that because everything's cooking in there, so it's really hard to overcook. But these things, they're gonna be tough to flip and stuff, and I'm gonna try to keep them from catching on fire because they get hot. All right, DJ never had grilled. Check this out.
Okay. There was a lot of prep work went in that. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, Tiva got into some of the. Cole had one job. I was like, I'm gonna go on the phone, make sure Tiva does not go up there and grab that food. He's like, all right. I walked in, bacon was on the ground. Cole's like, she didn't move. I'm like, dude, she did. Dude, she got it. She got it though. She hopefully learned her lesson. I don't take that crap. Alrighty, time to check it. Oh my God, it smells so good. That bacon is top. And also use thick cut bacon. It just seems to cook a little bit better, and once it's fully cooked, the fish is like perfectly cooked, so it's like a good telltale. Look at these guys what do they got going on? We're gonna heat up corn, some green beans, and some margarine.
I don't even know if that's margarine. That might be country crock or something.
What about that giant liquor thing you got going on though?
That's all you need a mixture.
No, thank you. Check this out. I shut it off because this is how you know it's finished. Look at the chard on the bacon. Once all the bacon is pretty much cooked through, you can have a little bit of it like semi-raw, especially the real fat parts. Look at that. I'm just gonna go with this. All right, so we finished, but look at this. Can you tell these guys hunt hogs? How sick is that? Those are all like hog tusks. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah, hog tusks. On this side. It's gnarly.
That tag came out of Ollie's ear.
Really?
Yeah.
That was tagged?
Yeah. Wild hog tag.
Hog was tagged. I wonder if it was a big one.
It was a big one.
Was it one? Yeah.
Big sound.
That's sick. This is what we got. Time to get DJ in here. Where is he? DJ, let's go! Cole jumped the gun on the reaction. What do you say?
That's freaking good, dude.
DJ, you gotta try it.
All right, I'm on it.
And just slide them off like I did. So you just like hold it up and then just slide them off one by one. Or that. Just throw it down.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try this.
You gotta
right
get
here.
everything in there.
Right there.
There's jalapeno, there's you got the mango. The mango's on the
I need to shoot more cobia.
Dude, I was preaching about this recipe I do, and it sounds awesome. So these guys wanted to try it, but look at that. Jalapeno, cobia, mango. And that's a Glen mango. You can use pineapple if you want, but dude, I'm gonna get the entire thing. Hopefully it's not too hot.
Very good.
Raw.
Very good. Yeah. That was a learning experience. That was a good learning experience.
Oh my God.
That's on point.
Good job. Good. All right, you guys, we're gonna keep digging into this. I was so excited I could bring you along on this adventure. Crazy diving these shipwrecks, and what a place to come back and have a meal, cook everything and everything. Like, I mean, it's so cool being in the outdoors, and we're like never leaving, it feels like. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below on any questions or anything, and I do my best to respond. And like always, I will see you guys next week for another adventure. Later.
Can't live.